There is something inside you that you have not fully understood yet. A core set of abilities, traits, and patterns that, if tapped correctly, could change everything. We are taught to fix weaknesses, to patch the holes before we build. But what if true growth is not about fixing, but about unlocking, uncovering the hidden gears that already turn effortlessly when no one is watching? The things you do with ease while others struggle. The passions that energize you while draining others. This is not fluff. This is not feel-good advice. This is science. Your brain is not a blank slate. Neuroscience shows that your neural pathways are shaped by both nature and nurture. You are born with predispositions. And over time, your brain strengthens the pathways you use most. This is called neuroplasticity, and it is the foundation of leveraging your strengths. Because what fires together wires together, and your strengths are the networks that have been firing longest and strongest. When you operate in your zone of strength, your brain conserves energy. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for effort and control, stays more relaxed. This allows you to enter flow states more easily, a neurological state where time distorts, focus intensifies, and performance skyrockets. Flow is not just poetic. It is a measurable shift in brain chemistry. Dopamine floods your system. Norepinephrine sharpens attention. Anandamide boosts lateral thinking. And serotonin stabilizes your mood. You become not just productive, but fulfilled. And this only happens when challenge meets strength. Too often, we ignore our strengths because they feel too easy, too natural. We undervalue what comes effortlessly. We chase what looks impressive instead of what feels aligned. But the truth is, your greatest impact lies where effort feels like expression, where energy flows instead of drains, where your brain lights up rather than shuts down. To leverage your strengths, you must first know them intimately. Not just the surface labels like creative or analytical, but the deeper patterns underneath. How you process information, how you relate to others, how you make decisions under pressure. Tools like strength-based assessments are just starting points. The real insights come from reflection. Ask yourself, when do I feel most alive? When do hours pass like minutes? What do people always come to me for? What have I mastered without even realizing? These are not small questions. These are maps to your neurological edge. Growth happens when you apply your strengths to new arenas, not when you abandon them. Take a strength like empathy. In one context, it may look like support. In another, it can drive negotiation, leadership, or innovation. Or consider pattern recognition. What starts as a love for puzzles can evolve into strategy, business systems, or art. Strengths are fluid. They scale across domains if you direct them intentionally. Psychology calls this strength transfer. And it is one of the most underutilized forces for personal evolution. When you use a strength in a new way, you build new neural branches. You become adaptable without becoming a stranger to yourself. This is how you grow exponentially without burning out, because the core of your effort is built on ease. Leveraging strengths also rewires self-perception. When you work from your center, you see yourself as capable, as valuable. This increases self-efficacy, a term in psychology that describes your belief in your ability to succeed. And self-efficacy is one of the strongest predictors of long-term achievement. Not just talent, not just opportunity, but the deep-rooted belief that you have what it takes. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you expect to succeed, you try harder. You persist longer. You recover faster from failure. And all of this reinforces the strength you began with. But to leverage your strengths fully, you must also learn to regulate your weaknesses. Not ignore them, not obsess over them, but contain them. Manage them. Create systems that allow your strengths to lead while your weaknesses do not derail the mission. This is how elite performers operate. Athletes, artists, CEOs. They build around their strengths. They design their lives to amplify their zone of genius, and they delegate or minimize the rest. This is not arrogance. This is strategy backed by neuroscience. Because the brain thrives on clarity, when you align your goals with your strengths, you create coherence. Your prefrontal cortex stops battling your limbic system. Your goals feel safer, more achievable. And you unlock what psychologists call intrinsic motivation. The kind that does not fade when no one is watching. The kind that makes you unstoppable. And make no mistake, this is not just personal. This is collective. When you live in your strengths, you uplift others. You contribute in ways that are sustainable and authentic. You become a model of possibility, a reminder that growth does not have to be a grind, that becoming your best self can feel like becoming your truest self. So pause and ask, what am I really good at? What energizes me without effort? What strength have I been ignoring because it feels too obvious? And how can I build a life around that? Because the truth is, your strengths are not accidents. They are clues to your path, to your purpose, to your potential. Not with force, but with flow. Not with noise, but with clarity. Not with fear, but with fire. This is how you grow without limits. This is how you lead without burnout. This is how you become unstoppable. Leverage your strengths and let the world feel the full weight of what you are always meant to become.